it makes me very emotional because I realize that the time and generosity and the efforts and the prayers of people that belong to our parish 20 years before we became parishioners, all that effort and the results of it have benefited us, our family, our children, and I really hope that it can benefit future generations to come.
Hello, everyone. Father Hamilton here with Father Richard. I've been so encouraged and edified these past years with the capital campaign that we have here at Corpus Christi, which is funding this massive project of the school, parish center, and now daycare. And I wanted people in the parish to hear why I've been so encouraged from their perspective. So I'm so happy and honored to have members of the Chang family be with us today to tell you why they've done what they've done, why they've contributed to the campaign. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us, fathers.
So my first question is, what has Corpus Christi Parish meant to your family?
Oodles. It starts with our parents moving here, right? I think any Catholic church, being Catholics all around the world, is what grounds you and brings you home. So wherever you come from, when you find that church, that becomes your home. And this is where our family grew. For most of us, my oldest sister Michelle wasn't born here, so she wasn't baptized here, but the rest of us, we were baptized here. We received our first communion at Corpus Christi, Sacrament of Reconciliation, confirmation, and all four of us have been married at Corpus Christi. So it's definitely our spiritual family, our community. It's one of the main constants in our lives, among others. But we've built many friendships and with different families. It's really been a main constant in our lives. And our children too. Our children continue to grow in our faith community at Corpus Christi. Our children all go to the school. They've all been baptized at Corpus Christi. They've begun to receive their Sacrament of Reconciliation and First Communion, confirmation, and hopefully it just continues.
That's wonderful, Serafina. Thanks for sharing just how much the school has meant to you and how much the parish has become an integral part of your family life. And really it's become part of your spiritual foundations here in Vancouver. And Michelle, even though you weren't baptized here, it's become part of your spiritual foundations as well.
Most definitely.
What do you hope your gift will accomplish?
I hope it accomplishes the same things that we've been able to benefit from. The school, I think it's been 70 years ago the school was built, at least, Father, I
think it was in the late 50s, mid to late 50s, yes.
Yes, so it's about 70 years since the school was built, and not to reveal our ages or anything like that, but we started in the school when I think it'd been 20 years along and later, but I started in the school 20 years after it was built. And at the time, I didn't recognize all the opportunities that I had, seeing the same parishioners around the school. We went to the school, but we would see people coming from daily mass. We would see people at all the school functions or the church functions, and it was our community. And we experienced it before we even understood or learned what a community is about. So what do I hope this will accomplish? I hope that similar to what people 70 years ago in the parish did, which was come together to build the school. They had a vision, they had a goal, they had a purpose for establishing something that could perpetuate into the future. I hope that this will accomplish the same thing so that 50 years from now, people will benefit just as much as we have. And it makes me very emotional because I realize that the time and generosity and the efforts and the prayers of people that belong to our parish 20 years before we became parishioners, all that effort and the results of it have benefited us, our family, our children, and I really hope that it can benefit future generations to come. And for example, when I don't live in the Corpus Christi area, I live in Burnaby. And so for me, it has accomplished a lot, and it's given us and our family a very strong foundation that we still work at building upon with the support and the regular support of Father Housen, Father Richard, the priest that came before, the priest that will come after, the sisters, the community. And so I feel that we can teach our children what community is, but it's more important that they experience what it is. And to build this new school and parish center and give them an opportunity to grow through that and hopefully come back to that even as adults, I think is a really wonderful opportunity and a great blessing to be able to do that. So I hope it will accomplish, as you can see, many, many things, but the bottom line, I guess the common thing is for it to support future parishioners, current parishioners through the future.
Thank you, Michelle. I mean, it seems like what you're saying is that you have become aware of what you have received, and you want your children to be aware of that, of what they're receiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't become aware of it until an adult at the time. And I don't even know if our parents at the time when we were going through the school and being raised in the parish, I don't think our parents would have at that time as young parents really realized how much our family would benefit from this being in the school and being in the parish. I don't think that they would, if I didn't experience it myself growing up in the parish, I don't know that right now I would realize how much my kids will benefit from this. I really hope that our kids will be able to, even if their paths take them to different places, not Vancouver, I hope they recognize the importance of contributing to their church community and making roots in their church community. That's
No, thank you very much. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as I think you'll do your job as a good mother to remind them of that as they're growing up. No, it's so important because at some point they'll connect the dots. If they get that consistent witness, they'll connect the dots. You trust the Holy Spirit, that will happen. Could you, why would you encourage other families or groups to come together and support Corpus Christi Parish and School?
This is, I mean, just seeing the past year with the school uh, building and the new gym and the parish center, everything um, coming together as it is today. Uh, it's just the beginning. It's still, there's so much ahead that lies ahead still. Um, you know, it's been many years from the meetings in the gym, planning phases. We've gone through so much to come to where we are today, but I feel like we're sort of in the middle point where we're only halfway. There's so much more that we still need to um, fundraise for. And through the years, we've contributed, and then we've also planned, what can we contribute this year? What's within our means. So year to year, our situation might change, but I feel like it's important that families do look at what they are able to contribute. Um, some years there might be more, might be less. It's important that going forward, even though we've already contributed, we can always do more, even if it's a little bit more or if it's a lot more. Um, it's a community we hope to be a part of for many years to come. As Michelle has stated, Fina stated, it's just there's so much to look forward to. I'm also looking forward to when we can, put fundraise for the church. The church is in dire need of a lot of repairs and needs to be seismically upgraded as well. I mean, if you look closely, you can really see where there's a lot of need still. But even with the school, there's so much more, even after the school is built. We need equipment, we need furnishings, we need, there's a lot more teachers. There's so much more we have a mortgage to pay. Bigger mortgage than a lot of us are ever can imagine. So, and then even after that, the church comes next. So I'm really hoping that families can consider this and review what they are able to give and contribute in the years to come. And we can all do our part. What we see today is because we've all been doing our part, little bits to put the bricks together. It wasn't just one family, it's a collaboration of everybody's efforts. And good leadership from Father and Mrs. Natola. It's been a long journey, maybe 10 years even. I don't even remember now when we started planning this, but it's been so long, and I look forward to doing my part going forward as well. And I hope the community come together and do their part as well as much as they can.
Thank you so much, Adelia. Yeah, we've come a long way, and it's true. One can say there's a long way to go, and that we will have, as I've mentioned many times before, the $7 million debt that we incur as a result of the borrowing to pay for the whole project. But we would not have been able to get here to this point where we could even borrow $7 million, because everyone who will listen to this knows that you have to prove you can actually borrow $7 million. So there has to be that revenue stream, that ability to show ultimately, the Archdiocese and His grace, that we can handle this capacity, this load. And Corpus Christi has shown that. But it's still going to be a $7 million debt. And I really believe we wouldn't have gotten here without the people's generosity like yourself. And I'm so encouraged by it and edified by it. So thank you.